As someone said, the size of the loss is the size of the love, and that can be infinite.
My mother knew that she was seen and she was heard in her anguish.
The Judds, once an iconic and influential country music duo, captured the world with their harmonies and musical influence. As a mother-daughter duo, they achieved immense success in the 80s. However, the truth is that it wasn't always fame and success. Now that she's older, Wynonna finally reveals what tragically happened to their beloved band. The truth about the Judds. The Judds were quickly discovered by a Nashville music executive, which led to their first big break. With their unique sound, blending country music with pop influences, and their powerful mother-daughter dynamic, the Judds became a sensation. Their debut album, Why Not Me, released in 1984, went on to become a commercial success, and it was followed by a string of chart-topping hits, including Mama, He's Crazy, Why Not Me, and Grandpa, Tell Me About the Good Old Days. However, the success of the Judds came at a time when Wynonna Judd was struggling with serious personal health issues. Wynonna had been diagnosed with hepatitis C, a chronic liver disease that would ultimately cut short their career as a duo. Despite this, the Judds' music continued to resonate with millions, and their impact on country music was undeniable. They won multiple Grammy Awards, Country Music Association, CMA Awards, and American Music Awards, establishing themselves as one of the most successful country duos of all time. However, the pressures of fame, combined with Wynonna's health battles, began to take a toll on both women. Wynonna, in particular, struggled with the physical and emotional demands of her illness, which would later play a pivotal role in the dissolution of the Judds as a duo. And then, the band ended. The final years of the Judds and the eventual disbandment of the duo marked a bittersweet period in both Wynonna and Wynonna Judd's lives, as their music career, filled with triumphs, began to take a back seat to personal and health-related struggles. Although the Judds reached unprecedented heights in country music during their early years, their later years were shadowed by the toll of physical and emotional challenges, both individually and as a team. Wynonna's health issues, Wynonna's evolving personal identity, and the pressures of fame ultimately led to the end of one of country music's most iconic duos. The story of the Judds' disbandment is not just one of musical success, but also a testament to the complexity of family relationships and the realities of balancing personal well-being with professional obligations. The Judds, formed in the early 80s, quickly became one of the most successful and beloved acts in country music. Wynonna and her daughter Wynonna achieved remarkable success, winning numerous awards and releasing a series of chart-topping albums that blended traditional country music with modern influences. Their harmonies, blending Wynonna's sweet, nurturing vocals with Wynonna's powerful, emotive voice, became their signature sound. Songs like Love Can Build a Bridge, Grandpa, Tell Me About the Good Old Days, and Mama, He's Crazy resonated deeply with fans, cementing the Judds' place in the pantheon of country music legends. Throughout the 80s and early 90s, the Judds were untouchable. They became a force in country music, known for their powerful performances and deeply personal lyrics. Wynonna, who had spent years working as a nurse before launching her musical career, had become a symbol of determination and success. Wynonna, her daughter, was emerging as a powerful solo talent in her own right, creating a dynamic within the group that made them a perfect storm of musical prowess. However, this period of success would eventually come to a dramatic halt as health struggles began to take their toll on Wynonna and, subsequently, the group. At the time of Wynonna's diagnosis, the medical treatments for hepatitis C were limited, and Wynonna's health began to deteriorate rapidly. As Wynonna's condition worsened, It became clear that she would no longer be able to continue performing at the rigorous pace demanded by their music career. The physical toll of hepatitis C, combined with the grueling demands of touring and recording, prompted the Judds to make a difficult decision. In 1991, at the peak of their success, the Judds announced that they were disbanding. The decision was met with shock and heartbreak from fans who had grown to love the duo's music and the emotional connection they shared. Naomi's health struggles, including her ongoing battle with the disease and the subsequent treatments, played a central role in the disbandment. The final concert of the Judds took place in December 1991, a poignant farewell to a career that had seen incredible highs. In their farewell tour, titled The Farewell Tour, Naomi and Wynonna performed their hits for the last time as a duo. It was a deeply emotional moment for both mother and daughter, as Naomi's deteriorating health made it clear that the time had come to end the chapter of the Judds. Although it was an incredibly difficult decision, Naomi and Wynonna understood that they had to prioritize Naomi's well-being above all else. The Judds, as a group, were no more. Did it end well? The impact of an ending. The disbandment of the Judds was not only a personal loss for Naomi and Wynonna, but it also marked a significant moment in country music history. The Judds had been a force of nature in the genre, blending traditional country sounds with contemporary themes, and they left behind a legacy of hits that would endure for decades. The impact of their music was profound, and many fans were heartbroken to see the duo part ways. However, the decision to disband the Judds was not the end of Naomi and Wynonna's careers. It was merely the end of a chapter. Following the disbandment, both Naomi and Wynonna pursued solo careers. Wynonna, in particular, found success as a solo artist, continuing to build on the platform that the Judds had provided her. Her powerful voice and personal songwriting made her one of the most respected figures in country music. Meanwhile, Naomi began to focus on her personal health and advocacy work. She took time away from the limelight to address her hepatitis C diagnosis, seek treatment, and raise awareness about the disease. In the years following the disbandment, Naomi also became an advocate for mental health, using her platform to speak about her struggles with depression and the importance of seeking help. While both Naomi and Wynonna had solo successes, there remained a sense of longing and nostalgia among fans for the magic that the Judds had brought to the country music scene. The disbandment, although necessary, marked a significant shift in the landscape of country music. The bond between Naomi and Wynonna, built over years of making music together, was still strong, but the duo's iconic status was no longer a part of the country music world. Although the Judds officially disbanded in 1991, the mother-daughter duo did not completely disappear from the public eye. Over the years, they occasionally reunited for special performances, bringing a sense of closure to their fans and to their shared history in country music. In 1999, for example, they reunited for a one-off performance at the Country Music Association Awards as part of a tribute to their legacy. This brief reunion sparked hope among fans that the Judds might someday return for a full-fledged comeback. However, it was clear that Naomi's health challenges, combined with Wynonna's desire to focus on her solo career, meant that any full-time reunion would be unlikely. In 2010, Naomi and Wynonna reunited once again for a series of performances and a reunion tour titled The Judds, The Last Encore Tour. This tour was seen as a way to bring closure to the chapter of the Judds' legacy. Naomi's health issues had worsened by then, and the tour would ultimately be her final time performing on stage as a member of the Judds. The tour was emotional for both mother and daughter, as they reflected on the extraordinary journey they had shared together. Naomi's battle with hepatitis C and other health complications made it clear that this was likely the last time fans would see the duo perform together. Their final moments as the Judds were a mixture of nostalgia, love, and a sense of coming full circle. The final performance of the tour was a deeply emotional moment for Naomi and Wynonna. They had weathered so many storms together, both in their personal lives and in their careers, and the farewell was a moment of closure for the two women who had built a musical empire together. Health and mental struggles. Naomi grew up in a working-class environment, and although life wasn't always easy, Naomi developed a deep passion for music early on. Despite this, her path to stardom wasn't straightforward. She worked as a nurse to support herself while also pursuing music on the side. Her big break came in the early 80s when she formed the musical duo, the Judds, with her daughter, Wynonna. Their harmonies captivated country music fans, and the Judds quickly rose to fame, with Naomi's nurturing presence and Wynonna's powerhouse vocals combining to create one of the most beloved acts in country music history. However, despite their chart-topping success and recognition, Naomi's personal life was fraught with struggles that few outside of her inner circle fully understood. Naomi Judd's battles with her health, both physical and mental, began long before she became a public figure, and these challenges would become a defining part of her life story. One of the major physical health issues Naomi Judd faced was a diagnosis of hepatitis C. Naomi contracted the virus through a needle stick injury while working as a nurse in the early 80s. The condition was particularly devastating for her, as hepatitis C causes long-term liver damage and can lead to cirrhosis or liver cancer if untreated. At the time of her diagnosis, there were limited treatment options available, and Naomi struggled with the emotional toll that the disease took on her. In an effort to combat the disease, Naomi underwent extensive treatment, including interferon therapy, which was known for its grueling side effects, such as fatigue, depression, and flu-like symptoms. This treatment, combined with her responsibilities as a mother and a musician, took a toll on Naomi both physically and emotionally. She later shared in interviews that the effects of the hepatitis C treatment were so intense that she sometimes felt as though she were dying, further adding to the immense physical and emotional strain she endured during this time. Naomi's health struggles did not end with hepatitis C. Over the years, she faced a range of medical challenges, including knee surgery, which left her physically impaired at times. She had to manage the delicate balance of taking care of her health while maintaining a demanding career. These physical ailments were compounded by the mental health battles Naomi would face in the years to come, creating a complex picture of a woman navigating both physical and emotional pain. While Naomi Judd's physical health challenges were significant, her struggles with mental health were arguably even more profound and deeply impacted her life. Naomi was very open about her lifelong battle with depression, a condition that she would later describe as being both crippling and paralyzing. For many years, Naomi lived with the heavy weight of depression, and despite her fame, she was often in a state of emotional turmoil. She experienced a profound sense of sadness and despair, feelings that were not always visible to the public, but were a constant part of her internal reality. In a 2016 interview with Good Morning America, Naomi courageously spoke about her struggles with severe depression. She revealed that her mental health struggles began long before she ever sought help, and that she had felt overwhelmed by an unrelenting sense of darkness. Naomi's depression often left her feeling unable to function, making even the simplest tasks seem insurmountable. At one point, she described feeling so trapped in her depression that she was unable to leave her home for extended periods. Naomi's vulnerability in sharing her experiences with depression helped to destigmatize mental illness, especially within the public eye. Many fans and fellow artists were unaware of her internal battles, which served as a reminder that even those who seem to have it all can struggle with mental health issues. Naomi's openness about her depression encouraged many to seek help, and her journey with mental health advocacy became a defining feature of her later life. Naomi's health challenges were made more complex by her family dynamics. Naomi was married twice, first to Michael Simonella, with whom she had her daughter Wynonna, and later to Larry Strickland. Naomi's relationship with her first husband, Simonella, was difficult and marked by emotional pain. Naomi later disclosed that her first marriage had been abusive, and she struggled with the trauma of that experience for many years. Despite the pain, Naomi remained close to her daughters and was determined to be a loving and supportive mother. The relationship between Naomi and Wynonna was particularly complex. While the two shared an extraordinary bond through their musical career, their personal relationship was occasionally strained. As they navigated the pressures of fame, the dynamic between Naomi and Wynonna fluctuated, and they faced difficulties in balancing their roles as family members and professional partners. However, over the years, Naomi and Wynonna eventually reconciled, and their relationship became stronger. Naomi's love for her children was unwavering, and she always prioritized their well-being, even while facing her own health challenges. In addition to her family struggles, Naomi also grappled with the pressures of being in the public eye. As a celebrity, she faced an unrelenting spotlight, which often magnified her personal and health challenges. She became an advocate for mental health, encouraging others to seek help and not to suffer in silence. She also advocated for the importance of self-care and highlighted the critical need for understanding and support for those dealing with chronic illnesses, both physical and mental. However, her daughter suffered similar problems. How did this take its toll on their band and relationship? Wynonna's breaking point and resilience. Wynonna Judd, a celebrated country music artist, is no stranger to the complex and often painful realities of mental health. Known for her powerful voice, which has resonated with millions through both her solo career and as part of the legendary duo The Judds, Wynonna's life has been far from easy. Despite her tremendous success, she has faced several personal challenges that have shaped her journey. At the forefront of these struggles is her ongoing battle with mental health, a theme that has not only affected her personal life, but also her professional career. Through her public struggles, Wynonna has become a poignant example of how fame and personal demons intersect, demonstrating both the vulnerability and strength it takes to navigate such a turbulent path. Wynonna's mental health challenges can be traced back to her childhood. Born in 1964, she was raised by her mother, Wynonna Judd, who would go on to become her musical partner. However, their early life was not without its hardships. Wynonna and her sister Ashley were raised in a difficult environment, characterized by poverty and instability. Naomi, who was eventually diagnosed with a mental illness herself, was a single mother who struggled with depression. The emotional weight of living in a household marked by financial hardship, parental health issues, and the absence of a stable father figure created an atmosphere of distress for Wynonna from a young age. Her mental health challenges were compounded by her mother's own battles with mental illness. Naomi's struggles with depression would often spill over into her daughters' lives, contributing to Wynonna's own emotional difficulties. Despite the external success that would eventually come with their music, the Judd family was far from immune to the emotional toll of mental health struggles. Wynonna, like many children of parents dealing with mental health issues, faced her own internal battles, feeling the weight of responsibility for her family's well-being. Their harmonious blend of country music struck a chord with audiences, and they quickly became one of the most successful acts in the genre. Yet, while her career was skyrocketing, Wynonna was quietly battling internal turmoil. The public's perception of her as a glamorous and successful star did not match the reality of her emotional distress. She was often under intense pressure to maintain a polished image while dealing with feelings of inadequacy and low self-worth, challenges that many people with mental health issues can relate to. In interviews and books, Wynonna has revealed that the demands of her career exacerbated her emotional and mental health struggles. The constant need to be on for public appearances, performances, and media interviews placed a heavy burden on her psyche. Behind the scenes, Wynonna was confronting anxiety, self-doubt, and depression, all while trying to live up to the perfection that her fans and the music industry expected of her. The image of the confident, powerful woman on stage often masked the fragility and vulnerability that she felt when the lights were off. Like many people grappling with mental health issues, Wynonna's depression and anxiety often went unnoticed by the public. How did the same challenge hit both members? Despite her celebrity status, she found herself in a cycle of isolation. The expectations placed on her as a performer and a public figure made it difficult for her to open up about her mental health struggles. For many years, she kept her pain private, which is not uncommon among individuals in the public eye who fear being stigmatized or seen as weak. Wynonna's battles with depression became more evident in the 90s, when she experienced a series of personal and professional setbacks. She went through a divorce and struggled with her relationship with her mother, Naomi, which contributed to her declining mental health. These personal challenges led to a significant period of emotional turmoil, during which she spoke openly about her struggles. In interviews and public appearances, Wynonna began to share her experiences with depression and anxiety, becoming an advocate for mental health awareness in the process. Her vulnerability in discussing her mental health battles was groundbreaking, especially during a time when discussions around mental health were less open. Another layer to Wynonna's mental health struggles is the emotional toll of family dynamics. In addition to her mother's struggles with depression, Wynonna's relationship with her own daughter has been fraught with challenges. The pressure of balancing family, career, and her own mental health created an emotional strain that contributed to her sense of exhaustion and overwhelm. Wynonna's openness about the difficulties she faced in her personal life, including her strained relationships, made it clear that she was dealing with complex emotional issues that were not just tied to her professional life, but to the deepest aspects of her identity. In 2016, Wynonna faced an immense personal loss with the death of her mother, Naomi. Naomi's passing, after a long battle with depression, and her eventual retirement from music marked a significant moment in Wynonna's life. Losing a mother who had also been her musical partner and mentor left Wynonna grappling with grief, loneliness, and a sense of deep emotional loss. It was a moment of reckoning for Wynonna, forcing her to confront the full weight of her mental health struggles and the void left by her mother's passing. Despite the ongoing battles with mental health, Wynonna has shown remarkable resilience. Over the years, she has learned to cope with her depression and anxiety through therapy, self-care, and embracing a more open approach to her struggles. By speaking candidly about her challenges, she has become a role model for others dealing with similar issues. Her advocacy for mental health awareness has been an important part of her legacy, and she has used her platform to encourage others to seek help and speak openly about their struggles. Wynonna's ability to move forward in her life and career, despite the immense challenges she has faced, speaks to her incredible strength and resilience. She has not only continued to perform and create music, but she has also become a symbol of hope for many who struggle with mental health issues. Her story is a testament to the power of vulnerability, and her openness about her journey has helped to reduce the stigma surrounding mental health in the country music community and beyond. Wynonna's struggles with depression, anxiety, and grief are not only part of her personal story, but they also serve as a reminder that mental health issues do not discriminate. Through her journey, Wynonna has become an advocate for mental health awareness and has provided an example of the importance of resilience in the face of adversity. The mom and daughter relationship. The relationship between Naomi and Wynonna has always been one of love and conflict, with moments of intense closeness and painful separation. Their bond, forged through years of struggle and shared ambition, was central to their success as the Judds. However, the fame and pressures of the music industry put a strain on their personal relationship. In interviews, both women have spoken candidly about their challenges in balancing their roles as family members with their public personas. Naomi was often seen as a guiding figure for Wynonna, offering advice and support throughout their career. However, as Wynonna grew older and more independent, tensions began to surface between the two. These tensions were often exacerbated by Naomi's controlling nature, which, although rooted in love and concern, sometimes created friction between mother and daughter. One of the most notable sources of conflict between Naomi and Wynonna was their differing views on their careers and personal lives. Naomi's decision to retire from music due to her health was one of the most difficult moments in the Judds' history, but it was also a turning point in their relationship. Wynonna, still eager to perform, was left with mixed emotions. While she understood her mother's decision, she also struggled with feelings of abandonment and a sense of being thrust into the spotlight alone. These unresolved feelings would play a major role in their relationship over the years. In the years following their retirement, Naomi and Wynonna's relationship remained complicated. There were periods of reconciliation where the two women would reunite for performances and appearances, but there were also moments of distance. The tension between their personal lives and professional commitments often led to emotional clashes, with both women struggling to find their own identities outside of the Judds. Their relationship was further tested by the public's fascination with their bond, with tabloids and fans scrutinizing every move they made. In addition to their personal struggles, the Judds also faced several controversies that made headlines throughout their career. One of the most significant of these was the public backlash surrounding Wynonna's relationship with her first husband, Arch Kelly. The couple married in 1996 and had 2 children together, but their marriage ended in divorce in 1999. The dissolution of their relationship was widely covered by the media, and Wynonna's personal struggles during this time became a focal point for tabloids. The breakdown of her marriage, combined with her own battles with depression, led to speculation about her ability to continue her career successfully. Similarly, Naomi's divorce from her husband, Michael Simonella, also sparked public attention. Naomi has been open about the challenges of her marriage, which was marred by emotional distance and infidelity. Her decision to raise Wynonna as a single mother was a significant part of their story, as it showcased Naomi's determination to succeed in both her personal and professional life. Despite these challenges, Naomi and Wynonna's bond remained strong, with both women navigating the tumultuous nature of fame and family together. Best songs of the duo, Mama He's Crazy, is notable for its sweet yet haunting melody, underscored by the powerful harmonies of Naomi and Wynonna. Wynonna's vocal performance, in particular, is breathtaking, with her raw, powerful voice conveying the vulnerability and passion of the character. The song's lyrics, blending youthful romance with a tinge of uncertainty, resonated with audiences, propelling it to the top of the country charts and earning the Judds a Grammy Award. The song became a symbol of their success, marking the beginning of their long and celebrated career in country music. Musically, Love Can Build a Bridge is a stirring ballad with a rich orchestral arrangement that showcases the duo's ability to blend traditional country with elements of gospel and pop. The song's lyrics, particularly the refrain, have become iconic. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. This simple yet powerful message captured the hearts of fans, making the song a rallying cry for those facing personal struggles. Love Can Build a Bridge reached number 1 on the country charts and earned the Judds a Grammy Award for Best Country Performance by a Duo or Group. It is a testament to the duo's ability to convey deep emotion through their music, and it remains one of their most well-known and loved songs. Another signature song by the Judds, Grandpa, Tell Me About the Good Old Days, is an evocative reflection on nostalgia and the longing for simpler, more meaningful times. Written by Naomi and Wynonna Judd, along with Don Schlitz, the song tells the story of a granddaughter who yearns for the days when life seemed more straightforward and values were clearer. The song's tender, reflective tone is perfectly matched by the vocal performances of both Naomi and Wynonna. Naomi's harmonies, paired with Wynonna's soulful and passionate delivery, create a deeply moving and memorable listening experience. Grandpa, Tell Me About the Good Old Days is not just a song about family and nostalgia. It also speaks to the universal human desire for stability and connection. The song's themes of generational wisdom, love, and family resonate with listeners of all ages, and it remains one of the Judds' most treasured songs. The legacy of the Judds. The Judds' story is one of incredible highs and heartbreaking lows. Despite the personal and professional challenges they faced, their contributions to country music remain undeniable. They achieved unparalleled success, winning numerous awards and selling millions of records. Their music, with its themes of love, loss, and resilience, resonated with fans and became a defining force in the country genre. Songs like Love Can Build a Bridge and Grandpa, Tell Me About the Good Old Days became anthems, not just for fans of country music, but for anyone who had ever experienced the complexities of family and life. The Judds' legacy is not defined solely by their controversies or struggles, but by their ability to overcome obstacles and create a lasting impact on the music industry. Their bond as mother and daughter, despite all the challenges and conflicts, is one of the most poignant aspects of their story. Are you a fan of their music? Write your comments below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. Don't forget to hit that bell so you never miss an update. And hey, while you're here, check out our next video. It's just a click away.